to focus on that a bit more in a second. But again, I love to see the comments, man. Lucas Life has said, big up, one love, brother. Nia said, shout out to you, DG. Personally, I ain't worried about Conte being across the road. Them lot of waste, man, and they ain't finna finish above us. I'll die on this hill. I hope so, but last couple of seasons, they've been finishing ahead of us, man. What's popping? Algorithm crew, love and respect to my brothers and the sisters locked in. I'm sure the galley are locked in. The women are locked in as well. Well, I know football said tends to be focused around males and mandem and brothers and whatnot, but the galley are here. YouTube's #1 Arsenal channel provider incoming, DG. I appreciate that. And please hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. His comments like that. The reason we're here day in, day out, regardless of what happens, man. Chef, DV, Jason, Joe, Jay, again, you lot always here, man. And when you got the DG chance, I mean, it's a mazza. It's a mazza. Not going to lie, I'm pissed. I wanted Conte to manage our club. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. And this is what I'm talking about. The Conte chant on his Instagram, I thought it was was, but it is. Spurs will win the trophy. I mean, hopefully it's nothing major in it. And I mean, it is what it is. Y31 dislikes Dally, back Ben, no clue, don't care. Let's move. Let's keep doing what we're doing, man. Fuck 'em, man. You know, it's bots, a couple channels having the same issues, weird from YouTube. Fuck them, man. Fuck them. Like, again, I'll try not to focus on this. And again, respectfully, we're moving away from our goal. Our task is to speak football, have a good time, opinions, all these things getting in, people hitting the like button. Anyone who's disliked legitly, fair play, do your thing if it's not your cup of tea. If you have something to say about it, then respectfully, and let me take off my hat because I want you dislikers to look me in my face. I mean this. Suck your mum with the most disrespect. Anyways, man, we move, man. They're bots, bro. They're there when you created the stream. They must be, bro, because they're always here. But again, let's just focus on them, man. It's just like he said, it's just the fact we're getting stronger each day. But fuck them, let's carry on, man. Let's carry on, let's carry on, let's carry on. One love to you lot. Keep the opinions coming, man. Said lunchtime done in time for this stream. I would have thought you lot would have been saving the DG streams for lunchtime. What? You lot don't want to waste your hour looking at, man. Fair play. Fair play. You lot do your thing, man. But yeah, man, Conte, Emre, even the M rating, it don't look like it's happening for Newcastle at this moment in time. Somebody, he wanted the Arsenal job. Facts. I don't know what Conte wanted. If he wanted the Arsenal job, if he didn't, I don't know if he's. I don't know what he's. What's going on? Yo, DG, don't invite Joe or Josh. Forgot his name, but he tried to block me during you guys' debate. Who's that? Fair play, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Man said 5,001 days and an Audi Cup later, and Spurs still have not won a major trophy. I mean, times will happen, man. And again, you know what? Let's get into this Conte. Listening to you in the van, big up my 9 to 5ers and things. And again, like I said, bro, suck your mum with a dirty straw. She's probably on a dirty needle. But yeah, again, any dislike is, but let's stay away from all of that and stay on task, people. The very fact that we've got 100 people here, regardless of what you look doing your day, that's a pleasure for me and that's a win. You ain't hit the like button, hit the like button, people. But let's we kind of started in it. Conte. Let me call this timestamp. What Conte means for Arsenal. But no, better yet, what Conte signing Spurs means for Arsenal. Now, I don't think it's an Arsenal thing. I just think, of course, it's a stick to beat Arsenal with. And I'd say the one luxury with speaking about Conte at Spurs and whatever is the fact that Arsenal's form has been a bit positive. Could you imagine if our start of the season form happened right now? The sentiments that, Spurs are getting Conte, we're persistent with Arteta, we're doing this and that. Some of these things might be right, some of these things might be wrong. As I said, isolated to Spurs, as much as you can praise them, they stand a good chance of winning the Conference League. Conte doesn't really do the best in Europe, though. Conte's what they need. They're punching. Conte could have sat on his hands, probably got bigger wages, a better contract, a better playing squad, better intent. But if they've promised him stuff and they're going to move 30, Spurs should be excited. And, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Spurs are the winners. They've got a good gaffer. Well, that's the only time they've been winners. They've got a good gaffer. They've got a manager who has a more credibility in the game and is better than Arteta, without a doubt. And I'd say the one thing, good, happy thing I am is they've done this and our form's been okay. Or you can imagine, they've got ambition. We ain't. Power shift. All of these things that were said. You can see the project. What's going on at Arsenal. It's funny how things change. Let me start with the yeses. I've got a couple of reasons. I tried to do yeses and nos as to why potentially we should be worried about Conte. And it's not just Arsenal. It's that everyone that's fighting for the top six. Now, as I've said, I think football is going the way of NBA, or I don't really watch NBA. Shout out to the Chicago Bulls, but in a sense of, I think we're gonna see a time where everyone can get relegated. Any team can win the Premier League, and I think that's where we're going. We scream about competitiveness. How can, and I find that Premier League fans and people connected to clubs, they cry about the competitiveness of the Premier League and say that it's amazing and stuff. But then when you get Newcastle getting a new owner, I'm not talking about all the off-field stuff. People want to kind of shut them down. People are kind of scared of Conte and what's going on. So I would say let's start with the reasons for, yes, why I might be potentially scared. He's a better manager than Arteta. When you look at the league title challenge, I know United have gone away from it, but you were saying United signing Ronaldo, it gives them a chance. But then you was looking at it, Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel, Pep Guardiola, Man City, Liverpool, Klopp. With respect to United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's not levels. When you look at Arteta and how Nuno was moving, Nuno managed to be more rubbed, So when you've got a manager that's been around and does what Conte can do, I don't need to explain it to you. You're not smart enough, so we know where we're going. I would say again, I do think Conte is bigger than Spurs. He can, Conte might have good individual pool and be able to get certain players that Spurs might be punching. That might convince Kane to stay. That might be a replacement for Kane to stay. One thing I'm scared about is, obviously, you look at Patrici. Yeah, he's not signed everybody exclusive to Italy, but he's looked at 1-2 talents in the Italian leagues, as you would expect. Similar to, I can't lie, I thought Arteta might have leaned on La Liga a bit more, or Edu might have utilized Brazil a bit more. So I expect Italians to bring in Italian talent, or people like Romero that have been playing in Italy and that they're decent and all of these sort of things. Hit the like button, 130 locked in. So that's my biggest fear, is that, Conte can convince people to sign potentially, so they can attract talents, whether that's to replace Kane or marry that with Kane on the team. Conte has a sense of urgency. He's shown he'll walk away if people piss about. One thing I like about Conte is he's shown that, listen, if you're not on the same page, I'll walk away. And it's an 18-month deal. That's good for all parties. If it don't work out, Spurs have a leg to stand on to remove a man. The same with Conte. Who knows? Conte might do well for Spurs, see a bigger job with an 18-month, with a year left or under a year left, and say, you know what, Spurs, I've done my thing. I'm going. I don't know if that screams long-termism. Maybe similar to what we kind of thought we was getting with Emre. Maybe Conte goes there, he steadies the ship a bit more, and then Spurs might take a risk with who they might sign as the next manager. He's there for 18 months, probably will sign a renewal, and it's good for the Premier League and the competitiveness. So I would say that makes it problems. Why I would say no is because, for me, expect competition. If you want to be a top 4, top 6 Premier League side, winning side eventually, you need to expect other people that want to do this thing, really, really and truly. City know what's up. Liverpool, to a degree, you expect things to happen. So I'm not really scared. It doesn't matter if it's Spurs, if it's West Ham coming up now, Newcastle. If you want to be among the best in this league, you need to expect other people to be on the same ish, whether that's our noisy neighbours down the lane or where else. Of course, I would like none of these men to do any of that. But, can we really be expected of a team that has similar ambitions than us? They ain't won a trophy, so it's not. I have to. Is signing a world-class manager really and truly? Is it like, come on now, people, let's get with it a bit, So I can't really, you expect that to happen. If you're at the top or you want to be near the top, other people have to do things. You have to expect competition rather than cry, relish it. Personally, I think we have bigger problems than what Tottenham are or aren't doing. Again, we're in a good run of form, unbeaten and all these things, but I don't know what we're going to say in May. I'm not sure how far along in the rebuild we're at and things like that. I just think Arsenal have a bag of bigger problems than what Conte is doing over there at Spurs and what he's doing. I genuinely think that, people. So I think there's too many bigger problems than just looking at them. I also think if we do what we need to do, then we don't need to worry. Again, if this club really knows what project they want to do, how they want to improve it from year 1 to 2 and 3, with obviously the signings they've made this summer, then we should get to where we're getting to. So we shouldn't worry about what Spurs or anyone else is doing. Of course, we'll look over and whatnot. But if we're doing what we need to do, we'll end up where we need to be. It's as simple as that, Once you get past the excitement of Conte as well, for me, they're not out the woods yet. I think Conte is going to do a madness for them. I think he's going to be great. But it's like Ronaldo to Man United. Once you get past the euphoria, you need a lot more to move an organization or a football club than just one man, no matter how good they might be on the pitch or as a manager. When when you get past the euphoria, of course, Spurs can do something great if everybody sings from the same hymn sheet. But and I think every player will listen. But right now, if he walks through the door, first thing first is to install a bit of confidence. Now, you will see a managerial bounce and all these things for a variety of reasons, but install confidence. Their confidence is on the floor. The system don't work. Some of these players have bad habits. Certain men are not good enough, and he's gonna have to. And he's joined mid-season, so he's gonna have to get it sooner rather than later. He'll grab his 3-5-2. It will work and whatnot. But again, how much, and he will make players overperform, but to a degree, he's working with some duds. Spurs are not out of the woods yet, or by that logic, they would have done a thing under Jose. So they've got their own system and their own rebuilding to happen as well and stuff. There's still question marks. Once again, we need to focus on ourselves because we ain't when you have addressed everything in your club, then for me, you can afford to be looking at what Spurs, Chelsea, United, all these guys are doing. We've got a bag of problems, people. If this club, specifically Kroenke, Edu, Arteta, and everyone around them, if they believe in the project they're doing and how these young players are going to reach maturity, then you shouldn't need to worry. If, in my opinion, one man cannot solve all the problems. That goes for us. That goes for them. And again, this is what the league is now. There's about 10 teams arguably trying to fight for the top 6 places, and you've got to rule out 3 of those because you've got Chelsea, Liverpool, and City. So I wouldn't say I'm worried. Of course, you sit up and take note and think what's going on. And I'm not saying that I think Spurs aren't going to do anything. I'm past the point of looking what other people are doing because I need to know what my team is doing from 10 games, etc., etc. So that's where I'm at with that, really and truly, and that's all I have to say on the matter. I had no plans to speak about this, but I did see a couple of comments on my YouTube yesterday that was the thing. Exactly, and when lesser teams see big teams failing, it'll just make them more ambitious, and this is the league, innit? Man said Conte ain't lasting more than a year and a half, never does. I hope so. Def are not worried. The Prem has become the Super League and I'm buzzing. You either relish competition or you cry. Arsenal for time have cried. Look for FFP, look for this, look for that to help us. If your project is really certain and you believe in Arteta and all these things and how these players are going to reach maturity, and if we go back and we look at our Edu's comments in the summer where he said, yeah, we've had a big turnaround. In the future, we might sign 2 or whatever players. If you're looking for players that are more right now, then you shouldn't be worried if your project's there. Again, there's obviously a gulf in class between the 2 teams I'm about to say, but Chelsea aren't looking at Conte and thinking, yo, Spurs are doing something, because they know, Roman Abramovich knows, whether it's bringing in players or demanding the best from Tuchel, they need to be in and amongst European places, getting to the latter stages, winning the Champions League, doing the same with the league. But under Jurgen Klopp, at least for right now, the same said for Liverpool. And again, it doesn't need to be said for City. So again, if you believe in your project, then it's a bit irrelevant. I'm not saying they won't finish above us. They won't do anything like that. But it's not like we should be like, oh my God, Debo is coming. Let's go, hide your chain and all of that. It's not a that thing. Like, it's not a that thing. We've got a bag of things to worry about. Bag of things. I don't want Spurs to win the league. Do they look like they're winning the league? Of course not. They might finish above us. I don't want that to be. I want, to finish above them like we always did. I listen, there was a time I didn't know Spurs finishing ahead of us, really. But we've got a bag of problems. That's happened before. What's the worst that could happen? There's another rival for a top 4 place. Everyone wants Europe. Everyone wants Europa League. Everyone wants champs. Arsene Wenger was a pioneer. He was killed for it. But it is what it is. It's the pinnacle. Are we surprised that everyone else wants to do that? Come on now, man. Come on now. If you're Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, there's Messi, there's Neymar, there's all these guys, but you're not worried about what the next man is doing because you know your thing. The same goes for Messi, the same goes for Neymar, the same goes in the music game, the same goes even in the trainers game, bro. At Nike know what they're on. They know how they want to get improvements, so they're not necessarily watching what Adidas is doing. Of course, they're exploring the market and they might look at what Reebok and all these guys are doing, but they want to do their thing in it. So it's adapt or survive, man. Competition breeds innovation. So I hope Arsenal start doing some innovative thing. DG, bigger than that, my friend. Stay on track, my friend. Haters will always be there, but moving, stay focused on task at hand. You soon get a big scouting job. Come on, you're right, man. I appreciate that, man. Big praise. I don't know if I'll ever get them scouting jobs and things, but I appreciate that nonetheless, my dude, man. I appreciate that. And you're right. I tried to air it, man, but too many comments regarding it, and it's become a cat and mouse thing. Conte is nothing but a great addition to the great managers in the Premier League. Conte is just a new managerial bounce. Conte is going to get a rude awakening with the likes of West Ham, Crystal Palace bumping their levels up. But again, new managerial bounce. Where could that take them? That could carry them into a European position, that could carry them past the January period. And like I said, with 20 games to play, you look at the sentiment, it is all doom and gloom around Spurs, but it's not a thing where they should write off their season. So we just obviously excitement and what's going on in the Prem, and it's a talking point. But Arsenal and Arsenal players, you can't sit there and think what's going on. Of course, there's going to be times Conte walks into Spurs. Some of those players look amazing, think pieces. There's going to be one journalist that sits there, and when Arsenal do eventually lose again and Spurs win, you can imagine what's said. Lord knows what would happen if we lost the derby, the return derby to come. Again, it is what it is. We expect that. We expect that. Conte signing means absolutely nothing to Arsenal. He's a great manager, but as long as we continue with our progression, we have absolutely nothing to worry about. Again, it don't mean they can't finish above us, we can't finish above them, but we just need to, if we'll be in and amongst the fight. It don't matter what everyone's getting, man. I don't know for at least this year if he wins something big. What's something big? Spurs in the Conference League. They might bring their FA Cup home, which I don't want that to be, but yeah, man. Shout out to the sisters up in here. My bad, I was focused on my broski DJ and his channel, but always got love for my Gooner girls. Come on, man. Appreciate everybody locked in. And you don't have to be a fan of either club. I appreciate you locked in. Apparently, Emery had a positive meeting with Villarreal president and is now staying. That's allegedly the latest, people. And I think we could look at that. But before that, couple questions and whatnot, man. You win some, you lose some. The most important thing is you live to fight another day. And that's what the league is about. Listen, Cristiano Ronaldo would be irrelevant to United if he's not, for the majority of those 38 games, if he's not able to replicate his high levels multiple times, which is what he's doing. It don't matter if Conte can't get them performing over, I'm saying 38, clearly there's not 38 games left, but over a period, it doesn't matter. It don't matter who is signed, who's there. The ability to be able to perform, and again, it's competition. Spurs done a madness under Pochettino, got to a European final. Can we not expect them to want to be in and amongst similar ambitions? It's the same way United. They should be clipping Oli. When Oli does get the clip, I don't know who the manager's going to come in. If it's not necessarily a big name, it might be someone that gains a lot of big plaudits and is on the verge of something. I don't know who's going to replace City and Liverpool's managers when the time comes, but you could expect it's going to be someone as great as them or on the path to greatness, And can we not expect anything different? Of course, you look at Arteta and it makes you look at like, raw, what's going on there, really and truly, them and they got Conte, we got Arteta, he ain't really got clout in the game like that. It makes sense, but away from that, it's tiresome, man. Bro, January's looking worrisome with the AFCON. If we don't get a player or two in, again, for me, if we don't grab a midfielder, we're moving mad. The battle for fourth this year will be really tense. Arsenal, West Ham, Spurs, Leicester, United really want to see how it ends up. For me, I think Arsenal will fall short, at least where Champions League is concerned. I don't quite think we have it in us. I think in every Arsenal fan in their heart, they're not really convinced with what they're seeing at this moment. And what I mean by that is there's positive moments. We're doing well, but you don't know if you're going to get this for 5 to 10 games. Also, we've got a decent start in 11, but when one or two changes are made, there is issues that in that regards. There's injuries. A lot of these players are naive, and I don't think we've been playing that well across 90 minutes. And ultimately, Arsenal we haven't done it, but we have this habit of, regardless of other people dropping points, we failed to do it. And I do think the squad is a lot of it is naive. So I don't think we're I want us to be in this like what we're doing now, still remain in the talking points, fight all the way. But I think Arsenal will come up short for Champions League. So, European football, and I say European football, I really want the Champions League. I don't really want to advocate for Europa, but understanding where Arsenal are at this moment in time, I would say you won't earn plaudits, but, Arteta has to get Arsenal back into Europe. If you cannot get Arsenal back into Europe, I think you need to get the clip, really. I understand if he's playing an amazing way of football, we keep seeing building blocks and we fall short. We might sit there and say, all right, cool, maybe 1-2 other signings and this and that and whatnot, and it is what it is. But I listen, that's genuinely, I think Europa League should be the minimum for Arteta. Continue doing what you're doing. Like, we're actually seeing a system, seeing what the players that, do you know how mad it is? Arsenal are signing players, and I'm seeing why they were signed. I couldn't really say that about Cedric, Willian. Luis came to show his level, but the whole context behind it, and I'm sure I'm missing out on a couple of names. So it will be very interesting to see how it goes and where it's gonna go. Oh, boy. And that's again, this is what the Prem is like, man. DG, you looking forward to that Amazon documentary? Not necessarily, but it is what it is, man.